In Ottawa, 12 mosques got together and are raising over $40,000 for the victims of the fire. In Calgary, a newly arrived Syrian woman named Rita Kanchet saw the footage on the news and was reminded of her own narrow escape from Syria last year. So she took to Facebook and typed in Arabic, "Canadians gave us everything, and now it is time to return the favor." Within hours, Syrians were giving what they could. Knowing how little these newly arrived refugees have, the organizers were blown away by the volunteers and the donations that poured in. One little Syrian boy wanted to donate his toys to the children of Fort McMurray. It is not easy to lose everything and to start from zero, Rita said. You lose your memories and your items, and we can understand that more than anyone else because we were in that situation, and we want to be part of this society. So maybe you already know where I'm going with today's reflection on John's famous "that all may be one" passage. But let me tell you what struck me the most as I read the newspaper in one hand and the Bible in the other. The first comment that jumped out of the newsprint at me was Elise's. I really didn't expect people to be so giving. It's really overwhelming, to be honest. For years, TV shows like Mad Men have been portraying the world through the cynical lens of characters like Don Draper. Some of his classic lines include, "I hate to break it to you, but the universe is indifferent." And "what you call love was invented by guys like me to sell nylons." His world, the one that many of us fear is more real than Christ's world, believes in the survival of the smooth-talking backstabber. It's the world of scarcity where guiding principle is competition, not cooperation or compassion. And in this world, it is indeed surprising to discover that teachers would risk their lives for students, that Muslims in Ottawa would raise donations for Christians and atheists in Fort McMurray, that Syrian refugees would give their last $5 to a stranger. But the world doesn't belong to Don Draper. It belongs to Christ. 2,000 years ago, on the eve of his death, Jesus sat with his disciples in a small upper room and prayed for unity. He prayed for his disciples, and he prayed for us. He prayed for the people in Fort McMurray and for the people in the pews on either side of you, and he prayed for you. I ask not only on behalf of those gathered at the table with me, but also on behalf of those who will believe in me through the word. For all who come after, he prayed that we might see ourselves as part of one family and use our individual gifts to benefit all. This is God's world of abundant living and hope. As I read the story about Lisa and the school children, I kept thinking about her comment about fire drills and being prepared. She believed in a world where lives could be saved if we took the time to practice. And I thought about Jesus, who routinely ran kindness drills with his disciples, sending them out in pairs to heal and speak of God's love. He told stories of good Samaritans, of sheep who were kinder than goats, of widows who gave their last mites, of the God who gives everything. He spoke of God's love that pours into us and through us. Not that sentimental, wishy-washy love of romantic movies, but the cross-shaped love. The cross-shaped love of Jesus, who takes his last breath, arms outstretched to the very world that turned away from him. Most of us, thankfully, will never experience the intensity of a crisis like the residents of Fort McMurray are going through. But all of us will come up against moments where decisions must be made to share or hoard, to heal or destroy, to be part of a system that plunders or provides for all. And the question that I have for myself is, when the crisis hits, will I be stunned by generosity or practiced at it? When my spouse's needs cause me inner conflict, will I be Don Draper or Christ? When the knock on my door is a stranger in need, will I be a goat or a sheep? What will I practice in the meantime? Jesus' prayer is that we may endure all challenges that befall us. He prays that we will feel the Spirit's presence to know that whatever facing us at home, at school, at work, with friends, with families, with foes, we are not alone. He prays that we may discover strength in unity. He prays that we will work to find ourselves as close to one another as he feels to God. And then he gives us the tools, like empathy and compassion, to make those prayers come true. And when we struggle to be kind, he sends the Spirit to wash away the calcified pain and fear from our hearts and replace it with God's law of love, generosity, and justice. This is God's world, and in it, all may be one. Amen.